Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. Well, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, inspiration, and hope. I'm Caroline HEWARD. A warm welcome to our loyal viewers on USA Global TV, and a very warm welcome to our new friends over on E360 TV, Roku, and our friends on Roku Worldwide, Amazon Fire, and X. A very warm welcome to our returning viewers on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. Our show today is a woman's prerogative, and we are in partnership in this show with E360 TV. Our topic today is going to be a very interesting one. It is, when I grow up, I want. So what do we want when we grow up? So today's topic, we are joined by our wonderful panelists from over the UK. We are joined together by Dr. Madalene from London and Dr. Justina MUTALE, also from London. Let's bring these girls out and get into our topic.
Hi, Caroline.
Hi, girls.
Hi, Caroline, and how everybody. Hi to all our viewers.
Thank you so much. This is going to be a hot topic, ladies. So first of all, what I want to do is really just kind of set the scene, so to speak, in terms of when I grow up, I want. Because when I was growing up, I only wanted one thing, and that was to be an air hostess, and everything else was by the by. So when you hear those words, when I grow up, I want. Let's go with Dr. Justina MUTALE first. What does that bring to mind to you, those words, when I grow up, I want?
When I grow up, I want brings a lot of memories growing up, because the what I want when I grow up kept changing depending on what age I was. So, for example, when I was, I think about between 8 and 10, we were very much involved in the church. And at that point, what I want when I grow up, my idea when I grow up, what I wanted was to become a priest or perhaps a nun, because as far as I was concerned, for example, the priest would stand in front of the church and in front of all the people. And for me, the church was like the world, and that was all the people. So he had this power over the people, and also he, like, in my young mind, was the connection between us and God. And also when, and that was the Catholic Church. And of course, they'll talk about sinners going to hell and all of that. And at the age of 8 and 10, and I'm looking at everybody around me, and I'm thinking, I don't want anybody burning in hell. So I wanted to be a priest or maybe a nun. In my mind, as a priest or a nun, I would save humanity. I would save the people in the church from the grown-ups that were sinning. from burning in hell. So that is my earliest idea of when I grow up, what I wanted to be. At some point, like you say, I also did want to be an air hostess because they looked so glamorous and so, almost like models. And also at another point, I also wanted to be a singer because of Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson wasn't that much older than me. And I always used to think, how can somebody almost my age be so talented and be doing these things? I want to go to the country where this guy he comes from, where these things are possible. So as you grow older, at different stages in my life, what I want to be in a way kept changing. But now I realize that although my want to be kept changing, it didn't really change as such, because all of it brought me to where I can help people. All of it brought me where I could be on a stage. All of me brought me to where I am today. Today now I'm trying to save humanity, of course, from going from a hell on earth, so to speak, because I am a humanitarian, I am a philanthropist. So I think as I grew older, I realized there are so many different ways of serving God and serving humanity.
Whoa, there's a lot there, Dr. Justina, a lot to unpack. Thank you very much for your wild share. So, Dr. Madalene, what are your thoughts about some of the things that Dr. Justina shared just then? Because a few things came up for me, but what came up for you and what would you like to share?
I found it, Dr. Justina, I found it phenomenal, the fact that at 8 years old, you were absolutely in tune with humanitarian and compassion, and the fact that you wanted to be a priest so that you could help so many people that would not be condemned to hell at that time, as what the biblical tells you. And just being in tune with that just shows how, in the way that life had already set out a template for you at the beginning of your life. This is what you're going to be, even though you progressed and did other things. But the fact is, yes, you are a humanitarian, a global humanitarian at heart in every way. And the beginning at 8 years old, that was how your dream was, to me, I perceive it, your dream was given to you. And even in that context, it's still being compassionate and being humanitarian. Now, I found it quite interesting, actually, when you said, it's amazing, isn't it, how everybody with air hostesses, they say, oh, it's glamorous, it's like being a model. Every young girl wants to be an air hostess. It's like a Barbie doll, isn't it? The Barbie. You're like you're a Barbie of the air. A Barbie doll in the air. And lastly, the Michael Jackson, be a singer. That obviously was, and that's fantastic in the way that you recognized you wanted to sing, to project your voice out there. And the fact that you homed in on Michael Jackson, his energy, his music, you just hopped, you just resonated completely. So I totally embrace and everything and all that you went through, all you experienced, took you in different little directions, but at the same time, you were still held within the mothership of your humanitarian heart.
Thank you so much, Dr. Madalene. I wouldn't have put it that way myself, but thank you so much. That's a great summary of the whole my journey.
You're welcome.
And I would also like to add to that is that you reminded me of the fact that I went to church at 5 years old on my own, with one of my mum's friends. And so I was very much brought up in church from 5 years old. And I lived in church. I did the 3 services. I was in the choir. I belonged to the church youth club. So my whole life surrounded the church. And I kind of forgotten about that in terms of, my mum and my family all thought that I was going to join a convent and become a nun. That I was so that, she used to say I was married to the church, and she was very worried that I wouldn't actually have a life because I was so in the church. But what is interesting is that I did have this view, and it was very glamorous then, about being an air hostess. It was like sort of the glamorous role that it was given. But really now, in our current times, they became known as trolley dollies, and then it's not so wonderful. Also, all I wanted to be, and even at 12 years old, 13, I think it was 12, 13, when we had to take our options, and we had to go to our form teacher and ask for advice on our options. And I was choosing all the options that would get me through to be an air hostess. And I was advised by my art teacher then, which I don't really endorse, because it threw my world apart. She said that I have neither the academic ability, personality, or height, or anything that would enable me to become an air hostess. So go away, stop wasting her time. And so then I just didn't know what to do. And I really was in the situation of, I don't know what I want when I grow up, because I had no idea. I thought, well, what I'm going to do now is just do things that I enjoy. And so it was quite tender, the age was, when I just threw it all up in the air and said, I don't know what I want anymore, because I've got to the point of getting to this age thinking that everything was steering me to being that wonderful, glamorous air hostess. And then I thought, well, I can't get any taller. And I actually even considered asking my mum to put me on the rack to stretch me so that I go taller. So Dr. Justina, tell me, what are your thoughts about the fact that I went to church, and all of my family thought I was going to become married to the church in terms of being a nun, and yet it didn't in my heart think that's where I was going?
For me, I don't know at what stage I realized that I didn't need to be a priest or to be a convent nun in order to serve the world. I think it's at the age of 8 or 10 is a very impressionable age, and you are looking at the people that impress you the most. And for me, of course, it was the church that impressed me the most. But like I said, like you, and when I grew a little older, becoming a teenager, I think that was the time when I started thinking about wanting to also to be an air hostess, because I thought that was most glamorous and the girls looked really good and all that. And of course, they were flying all over the world. So I wanted to do that. But in between that, before thinking of becoming a air hostess, I think about 10, 12, then I really wanted to sing and be just like Michael Jackson. So it's a lot of young people start that way, starting in the church, and as you grow older, you see that there's more to the world than the church, and then our ideas sometimes of the church also start changing. Because if you ask me now, I have a totally different view of the church.
Thank you, Dr. Justina. Dr. Madalene, what did you want when you grew up?
Okay. My mom, I was always listening to my mom singing and everything. And she enrolled me in a stage performance school when I was younger. And I really loved ballet. I loved ballet so much that I wanted to be a ballerina. That's all I lived for, just to be a ballerina. So I started doing ballet at 5 years old. And then I carried on when you go to middle school. I was about 12, 13, and I was still doing ballet and doing quite well. And I was just about to go on my points. And my ballet teacher said, you can't go on your points, your ankles are too weak. So that crushed me. It crushed me completely, because all I wanted to do was be a ballerina. Anyway, from there, I started to do more singing and get into drama. And then my passion was to go into musicals. So I did drama. And then my first performance was, I was really nervous. My drama teacher cast me as Mary Magdalene in Jesus Christ Superstar. So then I got the bug of performing on stage, and it gave me such a high, and it made me feel, wow, I'm really making these people happy. And it really was, it stuck with me. And then I thought, that's it. I've got to be a singer. That's it. I'm going to sing. I'm going to be a performer. That's what I'm going to be. And that's what I did. I went to London, and I went and was in productions and working with producers. And in fact, my life has been, I think I've been a kid at heart always, because I've never actually had a proper job. It's always a case of always my art, my creative heart all the time. So yes, I did become the singer, but through becoming the singer and selling records and doing well in the industry, I then thought there was something a little bit more. So I came into teaching, and from teaching singing, I then started to work a way of how to work with the voice to bring out, to help me when I was doing these performances or when I was recording. I thought there's got to be a better way of teaching myself to bring out the sounds and the confidence, rather than just being pressured in a recording studio. Right, okay, you've got to get this down in about 5 takes, because time is money. And that was always the time. Time is money, time is money. And if you didn't get it after 5 takes, then you were considered pretty hopeless. So it was very crushing. But it's something that, yeah, I have to say, I did achieve, and still am singing when I grow up. I don't think I've ever grown up, really.
Woohoo! Yes, you are the singer. You are the artist. Whoa, Dr. Chan, you really have become what you wanted to become, and more so. But you reminded me, you see, you're both reminding me a little bit about my past. I also did tap and ballet when I was a child, probably from the age of about 5. And I also did shows at Bourneville. And so that was something that I did because I enjoyed and I loved doing. And I never really thought that I was good enough to be, sort of on the big stage. And it was one of my friends that was also doing ballet, because it was probably a thing of the time. And she was in a much more advanced school, and she was mocking the show that I was at, saying that it was very, very basic. And then I stopped going. So what I had was feedback along the way for me in terms of, you can't do that, you can't do this. And at that time, I was very much an approval-seeking girl. I needed people's approval to feel that it was right for me to go ahead. And so I dropped many things because I didn't have the approval. But one of the things that I really wanted when I grew up, in my time of when I grow up, I wanted to see world peace. And I still feel like that. And that's something that hasn't changed in me ever. And it doesn't matter what anybody has said to me. I still feel a passion in terms of playing my part to create world peace. And so one of the songs that really resonated with me back in the early 80s was John Lennon's Imagine, because it used to always make me cry. And I wasn't very old at the time, but it always used to make me cry because it was something that I felt rather than something that was true. It was an idyllic that I really wanted it when I grow up. And now I'm 60 at the end of this week, so I'm time stamping this show. And I still feel it is possible to have world peace. So, Dr. Justina, what are your thoughts, considering that you're on the humanitarian path? What are your thoughts in terms of my childlikeness, in terms of wanting world peace and saying we're going to have world peace and it will be in our time? What are your thoughts on that?
I I believe every child wants peace. You see sometimes even children in the home, if the parents kind of fighting or having some kind of conflict, you always see that all the children want is just that home to be peaceful. So we all want peace in the world. I am an ambassador for peace, so to speak, and I've got so many peace kind of titles that have been bestowed onto me. And I also believe that the world really, there is a way that we can achieve peace, but they do say that the peace has to come from the individual into the community, into the nation, and of course into the into the rest of the world. In my wanting to be a priest or nun to save humanity, that is also constitutes part of having peace in the world, because if there's no peace, then you can't, how do people get saved? So we all want, I think I had the same, just like you, Caroline, wanting the world to be peaceful in my trying to save those humans from burning in hell, because mostly in my young age, I thought the sinners were those people that were causing conflict or making the world unpeaceful. So it is I think it's almost a natural desire from a very young age for even children just to want to have peace in the world, peace in the home, or peace in wherever they may be.
Thank you, Dr. Justina. That so resonates with me on every level. And I too am an ambassador for peace as well.
Yeah.
We share a lot in common here on this panel, don't we?
Yeah.
Dr. Chan, what are your thoughts on world peace and desiring it?
Well,
You're muted.
To create
you need to
peace.
You need
Am
to
I on
unmute.
mute? I was going to say it. There? Can you hear now?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's better. Sorry about that. Yeah, for world peace, for me, as I was growing up, it was more about being a people pleaser. And when I felt there was going to be the energy change and there's going to be conflict in the air, I would either fool around like a clown to distract them so that they're not focusing on a problem anymore, or that they just end up laughing, and I would end up being the person that they laughed at. But at least they wouldn't be arguing with each other. And I was a people pleaser just to kind of create peace. However, after I woke up in 2012, when you wake up to your heart and your inner world, your inner connection, I then started to look at it in a different way. I started to look at it in the way of global and planetary. And because we're now in the golden age, which we've gone from the Piscean age to now the Aquarian age is humanitarian, it's friends, it's friendship, it's friends, unification. And we also have the extra injection of the female energy of the soul. So because we've got this that's come in and being birthed onto the planet, we are most definitely having heaven on earth, as above, so below. That is actually happening, and we've got to purify ourselves in order to get there. So I must say, I'm a little bit of a late bloomer. I'm not an ambassador of peace, but wherever I am, I'm aware of my thoughts, actions, words, to try not to react, and just to try and keep at peace within myself. So yes, which then has an instant effect in the outer world, or the outer world. But I tell you what I do, actually. I tell you what I do. I do visualizations every morning when I wake up. I say good morning to the universe, my angels, everything. But then I also say good morning to everyone on the planet. And then I imagine this beautiful golden light of happiness around everyone. That's what I do. Yeah. So I'm not ambassador, as it recognized in 3D, recognized as a you know, but I work in spirit world, where I work metaphysical. But yeah.
Well, you are recognized as a singer, and you have books, which is spreading your message in the way that's right for you. You know, that's one of the things that I felt very strongly about, especially as I was in a lot of stress and depression and didn't even realize it. And it really came to light after my father passed away. Essentially, I went looking for answers, and the whole journey has been from head to heart. The whole journey for me in doing the work that I do now was literally moving out of the mind and out of the conversation of stress and anxiety, and moving into the heart, and then everything becomes peaceful. And that is the way that it's taught, you know, to get inner peace, is to actually be in a place of self-practice, and then it extends. So you're in practice, as we all are, because as above, so below is absolutely true. And in our own communities, we can change everybody around us by being more at peace with ourselves. And music is a way, it's an incredible way to do it. You know, yours is music, mine's meditation, and Dr. Justina very much in the humanitarian, on the ground, getting everything done, you know, bringing everyone together.
Earth Mother, Dr. Justina, you're an Earth Mother that just births, like what Caroline says. Ooh, you're the humanitarian heart.
This is quite a trio here that we have as panelists. I want to go back to the topic again. When I grew up, I want. When you were young, what did you have in mind in terms of money? You know, because times have changed a lot and we're all around the same sort of age. So when you were young, what was your thoughts about money, Dr. Justina?
When I was young, I really had no thoughts about money. I don't know whether it's the kind of community that I grew up in, that as a young person, we didn't need to think about money. We didn't, it's not as if we didn't realize that it costs money to look after us or for our parents to buy the food. But for some reason, it was just there, and it really was no concern of ours as young people. So I didn't really think about money when I was young.
Well, that's great, because that meant that you had an internal wealth already. What are your thoughts, Dr. Chan, on wealth and money? What were your thoughts?
I've actually done, Caroline and Dr. Justina, I've done things backwards. I actually, when I was younger, it was about money, about having the best, the clothes, the makeup, doing extra jobs, washing my stepdad's car, getting a Saturday job. I wanted money, lots of money, not lots, but just money. I felt that was my identity. However, now that I've got older, it's as if I'm younger, because meaning I'm not young. What I meant is that I've gone where money is not that concern, which it should be. So I've kind of done things a bit backwards way around. So I don't know what happened. So, yeah.
When I was young, I actually had lots of little jobs. I used to babysit because for me it was important to make or to actually create my own money so I could buy my own things and not be too much of a burden on my family, and so I could go out and buy the latest fashionable skirt or belt or top. And it was a big thing for me because I was always out and about and dancing, from quite a young age. And so when I could start earning money, I did. And it gave me an understanding and a value of working for my money and working for the things that I bought for myself and treasuring the things that I bought. So I was buying my own records and my own clothes when I was about 13. So my first jobs were babysitting for local people. And then also after that, I landed up working in little jobs on a Saturday, which earned me a little bit of money. And I always seemed to have enough. And I was never short. I always had more than enough to do all the social that I wanted to do and all the things that I wanted to do. And it was the fact that I didn't want to be asking my family for the money. I wanted to make it myself and to be independent. And so for me, that showed me that I'd become quite independent as a young child. So let's look at more about what I want, what when I grow up, what I want. Because we now are in a different culture, in a different society. And I'm looking at our young people now, and I see a lot of reality shows on now and people marrying football stars. And it's a very different world now in terms of what the children want. And I do see a lot of people wanting to be in a celebrity show or wanting to be on a reality show. And it seems to be that the industry and the wants, the careers, the desires seem to have changed an awful amount in terms of when I was a child. What are your thoughts on this, Dr. Justina?
Okay, I just want to go back to where the two of you said when we were growing up, even like at the age of 13, you needed to work and earn your own money. We didn't have that. I think perhaps we grew up in a different culture. It's not to say that my parents had a lot of money. In fact, my parents didn't have that much money as such. But for some reason, it wasn't considered, having children working was not part of our culture or our growing up. If anything, one would get their first job after finishing secondary school, and that would be like around the age of 18. But below the age of 18, then it was unheard of that the child should go and work and try to bring money into the family. As far as perhaps in my own upbringing, not that we said it was up to the parents. We were totally oblivious to this whole thing that a child could even go out and earn money. But our parents looked after us. Whatever it was that they gave to us was enough for us. We knew about dressing up and and having makeup and all that, but my mom always used to make beautiful dresses for us. She also used to buy beautiful dresses for us. In fact, at that time, my mom used to order some clothes from the UK through what was called a catalog. We had something called Freeman's and something called Oxendales, and we would all look in there and say, I want this, I would want that, and all that. For some reason, we just got them and we didn't see the need to work as young people. I think it's to do with the culture that I grew up in. And now the idea of everybody wanting to marry footballers or wanting to be on celebrity shows so they can earn millions and millions of money, because this is what, I don't know, for some reason we are living in an age where people worship money. They don't worship wealth, because wealth comes in different ways. But where they just worship to have loads of money. And this has even spilled into some of like the new churches, the what do they call them? The new churches, the Baptist churches, and I'm just forgetting what the name is, where they're always asking people to pray, so that, I don't know, for some reason they'll just pray and the money will be there. Everybody's is praying for money. But when you think, how much money can people really have in the world, and where are you taking that money to, and how much can you really get with the money, and what can you? It's just a crazy time that we are living in, that people are beginning to worship money and worship things. And that is where we are finding some of the chaos coming from in this world, because people are in a hurry to just amass wealth, or amass money, actually, not even wealth as such, but just having loads and loads of money. So young people have been taken or swayed that way, if they are girls, they just want to marry a rich footballer. And sometimes if they think they have talent, they want to fight to get in a celebrity show, or go to somewhere, do something that they think will suddenly bring them loads of money. But to whom much is given, much is expected. And so if people are going to have all this money without a proper mindset of how they can use that money, that is how we find some of these chaos in the world, because some people with a lot of money will use it to bring unhappiness into other people's lives in one way or another. Sometimes it can be very subtle. Sometimes you can see it, and also you have to be very aware, or maybe have trained or studied certain aspects of humanity, or also just taken certain subjects at university. Then you understand how some people with the most money are the people that are caused the worst misery onto this earth. When you see that there's so much poverty in the world, and somewhere I read it could only take so many, for example, $20 billion would finish off the poverty, for example, perhaps in my country, Zambia. And then you find that there are individuals who have $300 billion as their own money in their pocket. And then when you look at how much money is being spent on the wars that are coming in the world, instead of preserving humanity, money is being spent on terminating humans. So you just want to see, where is the balance here? What is it that we need this money for? Because it starts from, I want that jeans, or I want that television or something. And then suddenly you have so much money that you can sway people's minds and influence people to go and do some of the most horrible things in this world.
Wow, what a share. Unbelievable. I so resonated with so much that you said there, Dr. Justina. And it sounds like money is a whole new show and topic. And we are into our final couple of minutes of our show, believe it or not. Yes, we've really gone through the show very quickly. So without further ado, I want to just bring up each of you, and if you can just say a little bit about what you do, what value you bring to your clients, and how they can reach you. I'm going to start off with Dr. Madalene Chan.
Thank you, Caroline. Well, I'm interested in people, that anyone who wants to explore their inner child essence, to get into their happy factor, to be able to extend it in an outside reality. And whether you want to become a singer or write a song or anything that's your creative heart of genius, I can help from my experience of being a singer, and I can help to change the frequency in your energy so that you may be on that path of what you want to aspire to be. So it's when I grow up, I want. So it's from now, I want to be, from now, I want to aspire. There you go. That's me. So please contact me. I can help to awaken your soul and your heart, to help to bring a great balance for you. That's what I can do. And plus, I'm the author of Star Child, there, about love and fear, love overcoming fear. There you go. That's me.
How can people reach you, Dr. Chan?
Oh, thank you. Yes. They can reach me at Dr. Madalene Chan on LinkedIn, and they can also on madalenechan.com on my website as well. So yes, please do get in touch with me. Thank you,
and
Caroline.
Dr. Justina, in our final moments of our show, please tell our viewers what you do, how you help people, and how they can reach you.
Don't know where to start from, but I oh, what's going on?
Dr. Justina?
I seem to be frozen. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
That's it's good then that you can hear me, but my screen appears to be frozen. People can reach me on @Justina MUTALE on all social media. I'm just @Justina MUTALE, and my email is justinamutale@justinamutale.com. My website is justinamutale.com as well. I of course, as a peace ambassador, I do advocate for world peace, but I'm also advocate for gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. I try to help women find their way to becoming effective leaders. So I am the author of the book titled The Art of Iconic Leadership, Power Secrets of Female World Leaders, where I tell you how you can reach within yourself, within your own natural wisdom as a female, to come out as an iconic leader. So you can find my book on Amazon and airports and all major bookstores. Of course, you can also Google me and you'll find some of the stuff that I do that I cannot, we don't have enough time for me to go through all of that right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Justina. It's been an amazing show. Thank you so much to our panelists. And for me, I help people best their stress. You can reach me on nomorestress @live.co.uk or call me if you're international +44 0 if you're local 07523 120 189. And I help you with all manner of stress, whether it's physical, emotional, mental or behavioral, whether it's a relationship that you're complaining about or a physical ache and pain or a recent bereavement or something that's just keeping you awake at night and not allowing you to sleep. I offer a free 15-minute consultation and an incredible offer of an hour, an introductory hour for £50. So please reach out and allow me to help you bust your stress. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been an incredible show. I can see a part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5 of this show with the amount that we were covering. It's been an absolute pleasure to be your host tonight, and I look forward to seeing you next week at the same time. That's 7 p.m. British Summer Time. And I look forward to welcoming you and all of our viewers and our returning viewers if you're not watching on the live and you're watching on the replay. And now it's over to our wonderful sponsors who make this show happen. And a very, very special thank you to our wonderful producer behind the scenes that's making it all possible. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye for now.
This program is brought to you in part by the British School of Excellence and founder, Mr. Philip Sykes, building confidence, changing lives. Do you share our view that etiquette is a set of modern life skills that are essential for personal and professional success? Join us as an etiquette coach and change people's lives through the power of etiquette and manners.
The last few days have been really amazing. I had a trainer course from the British School of Etiquette.
And I must say it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made and one of the best investments I've made in my own training and development.
Now, words alone will not describe the transformation and the positive path that I have traveled with the British School of Etiquette.
I found I learned a lot from the lessons this time I came.
The last few days with the British School of Etiquette have been fantastic.
And what I've learned now is really beyond my expectations.
This is the most rewarding experience and the best investment I have made this year.
It was just great. I learned so much, and when I go back to Belgium I will incorporate a lot of it into my day-to-day life and business.
It's been absolutely wonderful for the whole week that we were here?
I feel transformed, and I feel like blowing a trumpet and tell people, come and do this school. This class is the best. This is the best school ever.
You should take it. It will change your life immediately.
I am now able to teach other people how to bring the best of them.
Thank you.
Thank you, PREEZ.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to our clients for their testimonials on the Train the Trainer program. Our exponential and global growth is so significant that we've evolved from the British School of Etiquette to the British School of Excellence, where we're investors in people. Let us invest in you and your career. Contact us to become an etiquette coach. Go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. Start your career and elevate your success today. This program has been brought to you in part by Zane Carson Carruth, etiquette and protocol expert, international award-winning author, television show host, and philanthropist. Thank you to Zane, our official diamond sponsor for USA Global TV and Radio in partnership with E360 TV. Zane is the author of The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever, as well as many other children's books. She's also the television host of Elegance, Polished Demeanor, and Posh Living, seen on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Carruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating more memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Abella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book Abella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Abella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
To learn more about Zane, contact her through her website, zanecarruth.com. ZANECARRUTH.com. Order Zane's books and merchandise. Contact her about being a keynote speaker at your next event.